John Lusk here of Lusk Archery Adventures. Series testing, successful hunting. Today I'm going to be testing the QAD Exodus, the swept model. Now, if you've watched my channel much, you know that I've taken quite a few animals with this and I've tested it quite a bit, but I've never done a standalone test on it. A buddy of mine, Giles at N1 Outdoors, asked me if I've ever done a standalone test on the Exodus, and I thought about it and I go, no, I never had. And so now that I've updated my testing procedure in 2021, I thought this is a great time to put the Exodus to the test. I've taken more than 50 animals. I think I lost count at 60-something animals in Africa and Canada, all over the United States with this head. It's always been a great performer, but let's see how it holds up in my testing. Now, first we're going to zoom on in here, go through some of the design features and specifications, and then put it to the test. Here you can see it close up. Of course, it spins very well, super tight tolerances. There's some really unique features about this head if you're not familiar with it. First of all, you notice the blade over shaft technology, that the blades extend over the shaft. And the reason for that is a few-fold. One, it makes the ferrule super short, the amount that extends beyond the end of the arrow. It's actually 13/16 of an inch that extends beyond the arrow. That's one of the shortest that there is on the market. It's actually shorter than some field points. And the idea behind that is it's going to keep the overall length of your arrow about exactly the same as when you shoot field points. So your FOC is going to be the same. Again, the spine is going to be the same. The overall length is going to be the same, whereas some broadheads extend really far, and that is going to slightly affect the flight accordingly. And another reason that it being having such a short ferrule is nice is that makes the ferrule extremely durable, because it's just so short. It's going to be hard to bend or break that ferrule. Additionally, the head is 100% stainless steel. The blades are 0.040 inches thick, some of the thickest replaceable blades on the market, and they're stainless steel as well. They have a hardened chisel tip that's actually, it's a chisel tip, but it's one of those chisel / cut on contact tips. The tip is actually really sharp and can be even sharpened more on the end. Now, another thing that's unique about it is you'll notice that the angle that the tip creates in the beginning continues the whole length of the broadhead. What that means is it's going to protect the strength of the blade, as opposed to, say, this broadhead, this Wasp. Do you notice here how, let me try to get it in the frame. You notice here how you have the tip and then the blades just all of a sudden jut out. And it's not that that's a bad broadhead, it's a great broadhead, but that's going to put a lot of pressure on that initial flaring out angle of the blade. And indeed, when I've tested Wasp broadheads and others like it, that's often the place that the blade breaks or gets really damaged, is where it flares out. Whereas again, with the Exodus, the tip and the angle of the blade just continues the whole length. So that's going to make it a lot more durable. And you notice also that the chisel tip is really wide. That is going to create a really big wound channel that I think we're going to see a little bit later on, because I've shot this so much I'm familiar with it. The cutting diameter is a full 1 1/4 inches. Pretty rare in a fixed blade, 3-blade broadhead. Usually they're 1 1/8. Sometimes they go 1 3/16, but there's not very many that go a full 1 1/4 inches, and they can get away with that and still have good flight because of the overall short profile, the blade over shaft technology. So I'm eager to put this head to the test with all my new tests that I'm doing now and see how it performs. Here's the grouping, and that first shot was the field point. That's the one that hit in the middle a little bit low. I dropped my arm a bit on that. I could feel it. And the broadheads shot on either side of the bullseye there. They grouped together very well. Exodus out of the box sharpness. 200. It penetrated 8 inches. 250. It penetrated through 66 layers. Wow. Here's the hole that the Exodus makes in the steel plate, and you can see that it's more than just a little circle with 3 slits coming off of it like some Broadheads are. It opens up more of a triangle. Now, it's not a pure triangle as like the tooth of the arrow makes a pure square. That's like a really square hole, but it's one of the best triangular cuts that there is, maybe the best of any 3-blade that I've tested. And here you can see it on an Impala. This was really typical of my my hunts with the Exodus. Not on every animal, but on a lot of them, it would make a really clean triangular hole just like this. Here's the Exodus after going through the steel plate 5 times. It's in pristine condition. The blades just look pretty much brand new, a little bit of cosmetic stuff right there. The tip, excellent condition, a little bit of cosmetic discoloring there, little scrapes, nothing to the edge itself. Man, this stuck really deeply into this concrete. This is like really super in there. It's going to take me a while to get it out. Here it is after sticking in the concrete, and it took me about 15 minutes to get it out with a hammer and a chisel. I mean, it embedded in it. And if you look closely, you see that it's in extremely good condition. Some of the blade portion that actually embedded in the concrete still has kept its edge. I mean, you can't even notice that it's hit anything, let alone go through the steel plate 5 times and then the concrete as well. This was the same Broadhead. And the tip is also in excellent condition, except for a bunch of concrete that's like fused to it. Even the very tip is still really pointy. That didn't get bent or knocked off in any way. Excellent durability. So what'd you think of the Exodus? Man, every time I test this head in any way, I'm blown away by how well it performs. It just doesn't have many weaknesses. I consider it probably the best all-round fixed blade head in its price category on the market today. And then that you have the option of replaceable blades at that, man, it really is a performer. So check out the scores and see how it did in the area that matters to you the most. And you know, I only tested the swept, but the full model does really well. There's some states where you can't shoot the swept because it's barbed, and so the full model you can use as an option. It performs really well also, but I find that the swept is slightly more forgiving in flight, and they're equally strong as well. But props to QAD. You guys are doing a fantastic job with the Exodus.